Nathan, yeah, well, have you got a fully fit squad or anybody to worry about going into Sunday?
No, look, we're in as good a place as we were last week, so nothing new to report really.
I think at the start of your journey, I think you were just 3 points off relegation when you joined the club. And now on Sunday, you've got the chance for promotion. Just how much of a special journey has it been for you just up until now?
Yeah, look, it has. I'm very proud of that because it's tough to turn around, and especially such a big project as this and such a big club as this, to come from where we did to where we are now. Yeah, it's been a meteoric rise, but that's a lot of people have had to do a lot of good work in terms of that, especially the players, coaching staff. Fans have got on board, everyone at the club, and look, we feel it's a just rewards for a real good body of work in the last sort of 14-15 months.
An image we'll never forget is from the semi-final, that outpouring of emotion and of relief when you're on the side on your knees. What was going through your mind at that time?
To be fair, the fourth official said it's done, so we had a free kick, so I knew that we were at least going to kick it out of play, and then hopefully you're done. So it was just that relief, the realisation that you've got to Wembley, and that's all it is. Sometimes you can't control. I'm an emotional person anyway. Sometimes that runs away with me, but that was just an outpouring of relief and emotion, and when I can't remember, why it happened, how it happened, but it just did, and it's one of those images that obviously I'll remember.
What was the reaction sort of around afterwards in the club, and your friends and family? Did people speak to you about your reaction and your emotions at that time?
Yeah, a lot of people have said it was probably an overreaction and stuff, but look, I've been guilty of those in my career, both as a player and as a coach and as a manager. So that's something that I have to live with. Something. Do I control or not? I'm not really sure, because I work really hard. A lot of people in my life sacrifice a lot of things for me to be able to do that. So sometimes it's all that comes to the fore. And I said, and I was very proud on the night because I thought we were really good, over the 2 games, to keep 2 clean sheets against a real attacking force, to play under the pressure that Charlton have to play at. I was very, very proud of what we did. And look, the culmination is an opportunity to play at Wembley and to try and get promoted.
I know it's so hard to kind of control yourself when your emotions are like that, especially I imagine after achieving something like that, but the final's even bigger. Have you thought about just how you'll feel if you do manage to take that next step, and what your reaction would be there?
No. Look, we don't think that far ahead. We don't get presumptuous in anything that we do. All we have to do is concentrate on first and foremost the days leading up to it, the preparation, and then the final will take care of itself. And look, whatever happens, happens. And as I said, it's going to be an emotional day for every single person in the stadium. Whether that's the bus driver, whether that's a fan, whether it's manager, whether it's player, whether it's family member, friend, anything. It's an emotional day. So look, that will take care of itself. All we're concentrating on is our preparation leading into it, and that's all we can affect.
I listened to one of your interviews this week where you said you're talking about your experiences as a player and a coach in previous playoffs and how that would help. And I think you said actually the ones as a player might help you more. Can you just go into a little bit more about that and why it is that?
It's just the preparation. The preparation, I felt that one occasion we prepared really well, and another occasion wasn't like as thorough, I felt, or didn't sort of flow as much. So what we've tried to do, I've tried to take as much of my experiences from being a player for 3 playoffs, a coach for 1, a manager for 3, and try to siphon the good bits, try to get the bits that I didn't necessarily enjoy, and then let other people who are as experienced or more experienced than me plan certain stuff. So it was just that really. As a player, I had sort of 2 in this country, 2 playoff finals that were categorically different in their preparation.
Just explain which ones they were, just for...
No, I wouldn't want to be detrimental to anyone or anything, but I won 1, lost 1, and then just things that happened in the lead up to one of them, I wouldn't want to replicate. Stuff that happened in the other one, I've tried to copy.
Fair enough. And we all know the history of this club in the Premier League and in previous years with turbulence and previous owners, but it's at the end of the day, it's a massive football club. How important is it, do you think, to take Charlton into the Championship? Does this club need to be in the Championship?
Look, first and foremost, history is history. So it has a history of being a wonderful football club in the Premier League. It has a history of having probably slightly mismanaged or whatever in previous from owners and stuff that probably haven't necessarily understood the club, and so again, don't want to speak bad of anyone, but all we have to do now is look forward and what can we achieve, what can we do. We've got a real good board, real good set of owners now that want to achieve something, that want to be here for a while and want to build something. They've got an academy, a community trust, a manager, a set of coaching staff, a set of decision makers here that are all aligned and want to achieve. And then we have a group of players at this point in time that really want to achieve something, that have worked hard, that have had to put up with a lot. And that's what it is. Now, getting out of League One into the Championship is the next step. Now, hopefully, we've got one wonderful opportunity to do it in one game. We never know how that's going to happen. But what the good thing about the club is now we have no trapdoors. You know, this club isn't going to fall apart if on one result. What there are now is a set of principles, a set of values, a set of processes in place that we are only going to go forward.
Nathan, the euphoria and emotions that followed that win at the Valley on Thursday were exceptional, and even if you'd experienced it before, it was still something a little bit special and must have been emotionally draining as well as physical. The recovery period for players, is it different because of that to normal games? And the nature of the recovery, is it different?
Yeah, I think so. I think the initial, but you can't, you couldn't have a game 3 days later after that, after the exertion, the mental, the physical exertion of doing that, and then the emotion around everything else. I think that's why they allow the 8 days or whatever, so there's 1 or 2 to calm down, then you can do a normal prep, and that's what we've done. We've tried to manage those interim days in between the 5-day lead-in, as well as we could, but look, hopefully we're as prepared as we can be.
And Luke Berry wasn't part of the team on the second. Is he closer to being available for the final?
Well, yeah, just by time and everything, he's closer. So we'll just have to see. And
the crowd that was there, obviously, on Thursday night, it's going to be an even bigger crowd at Wembley. Can you try and prepare the players for something like that?
Well, the great thing about these is they're not everyday occurrences, and that's what makes them special. Because if you was playing in front of whatever it is, 60, 70,000 week in, week out, then this wouldn't be as special as occasion. Even though being a footballer every day is special, playing in front of anyone, being a professional is special. But these are occasions that are truly special. And one, you have to prepare right for them. 2, you have to win them. But 3, you have to enjoy them as you're going along.
You've mentioned on numerous occasions about the number of clean sheets we've had this season is a sign of just how far we've come since you've taken over. Was that epitomised really by Kane Ramsey's double block moments before then? Matty Godden going up and sealing the deal. That Kane Ramsey double block, did that just really sum up the nature of where we are now?
Well, yeah. Look, I think it's symbolic that he's an excellent defender. He's had a wonderful season. Defenders put their body on the line. He had to do that. Only one occasion they probably had one real chance. Obviously, it's a double, but they had one chance. So to be able to go into big games like that and to limit the opposition to one clear-cut chance over 2 games shows that's how far we've come. Now, in that action, Kane did fantastically well. But look, throughout the thing, we've had goalkeepers doing fantastically well. The strikers, everything in front of those defenders contributes to how much we allow in and around our box. So it's always got to be a collective effort, and that's what we've probably been good at.
You also mentioned on Thursday that that moment reminded you of Premier League Charlton, because the way the crowd has evolved during the season and gone on the journey that you'd always wanted to go on. Did the players remark about that special atmosphere after Thursday night, just how good it was?
Oh yeah, but I think everyone did. I think the players did. I think old players who were here, so people like Solly and people like Pacey who have been here around it, they were a bit taken aback by it, because I think that, they remarked that's as good as they've seen. So it shows that we have come a long way, and I'm very proud of that, of the work that everyone has done, because no one person can do that. It has to be a collective. It has to be a massive effort from everyone. And then the more good people we have at the football club doing good work, the better we can be.
When you're in a cup final, of course, you're going to get questions about your past experiences in cup finals. I was lucky enough to be at the Cardiff City Stadium when you led a Charlton Under-21 side to victory in a final. 12 years on, you'll be leading a senior team of Charlton now. It's some journey.
Yeah, and I didn't even think of that, you know, and stuff. That obviously different sizing crowd and different things at stake. But at the time, it was the be all and end all. It was the culmination of a wonderful season, because we'd won everything then as an under-21 group. Very proud of that group. They've gone on. You look at some of the players that have gone on: Nick Pope, Shemi Ajayi, you know, Jordan Cousins, Morgan Fox. They'd all had either Premier League or Championship experience, plus the others that have had, you know, real league football as well. Wonderfully proud of that group, as I am of this group. But we just have one more game now to finish off the season, and hopefully it can be as euphoric as it was then, because with 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, wherever it was, at the Cardiff City Stadium, it was euphoric, and it was a real proud moment for me.